Have you ever noticed that some people become strangely distant right after you achieve something good? Maybe they stop congratulating you, become unusually critical, or suddenly start acting as if your success doesn't matter. At first, it feels confusing. After all, why would someone have a problem with another person's happiness? The truth is that not every smile is genuine, and not every compliment comes from a place of admiration. Sometimes the people who seem the most supportive are quietly comparing their lives to yours. And when that comparison becomes painful, admiration can slowly transform into something much darker: envy. Today, we're uncovering the hidden psychology behind why people secretly envy you, the subtle signs you may have overlooked, and why their jealousy often says far more about them than it does about you. By the end of this video, you may start seeing certain relationships in a completely different light. Envy is one of the oldest and most powerful human emotions. It exists in every culture, every generation, and every social group. Unlike simple admiration, envy doesn't just recognize someone else's success. It feels threatened by it. Psychologists explain that human beings naturally compare themselves with others to evaluate their own progress. This process, known as social comparison, happens almost automatically. The problem begins when someone believes your achievements highlight what they haven't accomplished themselves. Instead of using your success as motivation, they experience discomfort, insecurity, and frustration. They don't necessarily want what you have because it's valuable. They want it because you have it. One of the biggest misconceptions about jealousy is that people only envy wealth or fame. In reality, people often envy things that cannot be purchased: confidence, emotional stability, strong relationships, discipline, kindness, creativity, intelligence, and even inner peace can trigger envy. Someone who appears successful on the outside may secretly envy your ability to remain calm under pressure. Another person may envy the respect you naturally receive from others. Sometimes your greatest strength isn't your achievements, it's the way you carry yourself. Quiet confidence often attracts admiration from healthy people and envy from insecure ones. Ironically, the more humble you are, the harder hidden envy becomes to recognize. Many people assume jealous individuals openly attack those they envy, but secret jealousy is usually much more subtle. Instead of direct confrontation, it often appears through passive-aggressive comments, backhanded compliments, or a noticeable lack of enthusiasm whenever something good happens in your life. They might say, "You're just lucky," or "Anyone could have done that." These comments seem harmless on the surface, but they quietly reduce your accomplishments. Rather than celebrating your progress, they search for explanations that make your success feel less impressive. Another common sign is inconsistent support. Think about the people who enthusiastically cheer for you when you're struggling, but suddenly become distant once you start succeeding. It sounds strange, but some individuals feel more comfortable when you're below them. Your struggles reassure them that they're doing fine. But when your life begins improving, the balance changes. Suddenly, your growth becomes a reminder of their own lack of progress. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel uncomfortable. Without realizing it, they begin creating emotional distance. Jealous people also have a habit of minimizing your hard work. They often focus on visible results while ignoring the years of effort that made those results possible. They see the promotion, but not the overtime. They notice the healthy body, but not the disciplined mornings. They admire the successful business, but overlook the countless failures that came before it. By convincing themselves that your achievements came easily, they protect their own ego. If your success required little effort, then they don't have to question why they haven't reached the same level. Perhaps the most surprising truth about envy is that it often comes from people who know you best. Friends, coworkers, classmates, neighbors, and even family members compare themselves to you because your lives feel similar. Psychologists have found that people are more likely to compare themselves with those they perceive as equals rather than distant celebrities. That's why your accomplishments may affect someone close to you far more than the success of a billionaire they've never met. Familiarity creates comparison, and comparison creates opportunities for envy. Social media has amplified this effect dramatically. Every highlight, vacation, promotion, or achievement becomes another opportunity for comparison. While people know they're only seeing the best moments of someone else's life, emotions rarely follow logic. A carefully edited photo can make someone question their entire life. A career announcement can create feelings of inadequacy. A happy relationship post can intensify loneliness. The digital world has turned comparison into a daily habit, making secret envy more common than ever before. However, it's important to understand that not everyone who feels envy becomes toxic. Envy itself is a natural emotion. The difference lies in how people respond to it. Emotionally mature individuals recognize their jealousy, reflect on it, and use it as motivation to improve themselves. Instead of tearing others down, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Insecure individuals, on the other hand, often choose a different path. Rather than growing, they criticize, gossip, undermine, or quietly hope for your failure because seeing you struggle temporarily relieves their own discomfort. You may wonder whether you should hide your achievements to avoid making others uncomfortable. While humility is valuable, constantly shrinking yourself to protect someone else's insecurities isn't healthy. Healthy relationships celebrate growth. True friends don't become threatened by your success. They become inspired by it. They don't compete with your happiness. They contribute to it. If someone consistently reacts negatively whenever your life improves, the issue isn't your success. It's the emotional battle they're fighting within themselves. Another mistake many people make is trying to earn everyone's approval. Unfortunately, the more visible your progress becomes, the more criticism you may receive. Success naturally attracts attention, and attention invites comparison. Some people will misunderstand your confidence as arrogance. Others will assume your opportunities came through luck instead of effort. No matter how carefully you explain your journey, those determined to minimize it will always find a reason. This is why emotional resilience becomes so important. You cannot control other people's interpretations, but you can control how much power you give them. The healthiest response to hidden jealousy is neither revenge nor confrontation. Instead, maintain healthy boundaries while continuing to focus on your own growth. You don't need to prove yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Continue improving, remain kind without becoming naive, and remember that someone else's insecurity isn't your responsibility to fix. Protect your peace without becoming bitter. Stay humble without becoming invisible. The goal isn't to make everyone comfortable with your success. The goal is to build a life you're genuinely proud of. At the same time, this topic invites an uncomfortable question. Have you ever secretly envied someone else? Almost everyone has at some point. The difference is whether that feeling becomes fuel for self-improvement or poison for relationships. Envy can either become a mirror showing us what we truly desire, or a prison that keeps us focused on other people's lives instead of our own. The choice belongs to each of us. In the end, people rarely envy your possessions alone. They envy your courage to take risks, your discipline to stay consistent, your confidence to believe in yourself, and your willingness to keep moving forward despite setbacks. These qualities remind them of the person they wish they could become. So if you notice that some people become colder as your life improves, don't let it discourage you. Continue growing with humility, treat others with respect, and surround yourself with those who genuinely celebrate your victories. Because the right people won't resent your light, they'll be inspired by it. And perhaps the greatest achievement isn't making everyone admire you. It's building a life so authentic that you no longer need everyone's approval to keep shining.